Have you ever had that bitter feeling that all your effort just disappears into thin air? That no matter how hard you work, in your family or in any other aspect of life, no one seems to notice? Maybe you're exhausted inside, waiting for a compliment that never comes, a simple thank you, or at least a look that says, I see you. The reality is harsh, but liberating. The world begins to recognize your value the moment you decide to establish it yourself. When you learn to take a stand, to set clear limits and not accept less than you give, everything starts to change. True recognition doesn't come from a need for external validation, but from the firmness of someone who knows exactly what they deserve and isn't afraid to demand it with respect and clarity. If you're tired of feeling invisible, this video is for you. We're going to explore how real recognition begins within you and expands to everything around you. Your energy changes, your posture changes, and with that, how the world responds to you changes too. Staying until the end of this video could be the turning point you need to understand that seeking validation on the outside is what's keeping you stuck, frustrated, and paralyzed. Let's get straight to the point. Expecting others to recognize you before you recognize yourself is the mistake that is sabotaging your evolution. And today we're going to turn that switch together with practical, direct, and transformative steps. You do your best, fulfill responsibilities, strive to keep everything in balance, and yet it seems that no one sees what you really are. You feel ignored, underestimated, almost transparent. No matter how hard you try, recognition slips through your fingers like sand. This doesn't mean that you're worthless. It means that perhaps you're putting your value in the wrong hands. Because how the world treats you starts with how you treat yourself. And as long as you keep expecting others to value you without having made your own standards clear, you'll remain stuck in this painful cycle of frustration. But the good news is, that can change. And in this video, you'll learn how to take the first step towards this transformation. How many times have you ended the day exhausted, feeling that you gave it your all, and it still wasn't enough? At work, you solve problems, make commitments, put up with pressure. At home, you take care of, support, sustain. And in the end, all that's left is silence, indifference, a feeling of emptiness that grows day by day. This lack of recognition erodes your self-esteem, undermines your inner strength, and gradually convinces you that you are the problem. So you try harder, be nicer, say yes more, until it disappears. But the more you cancel yourself out, the more invisible you become. And that's the cycle that needs to be broken, not by shouting, but by taking a firm and conscious stand. The biggest mistake is believing that your value depends on other people's eyes, that you are only worth what others see. But this belief is a trap. Trying to live in search of approval is like trying to fill a leaky bucket. No matter how hard you try, it will never be enough. Because those who don't recognize their own value end up becoming hostages to the opinions of others. The real turning point comes when you stop asking for permission to exist and start positioning yourself clearly. When you understand that respect begins within you. When you learn that you don't need to be accepted by everyone, you just need to accept yourself with total authenticity and firmness. Everything starts to change when you understand that valuing yourself isn't arrogance, it's maturity. It's being clear about who you are, what you deserve, and what you will no longer tolerate. It's knowing that you can't control other people's behavior, but you can decide what you accept or don't accept in your life. Valuing yourself isn't about imposing yourself forcefully, it's about expressing yourself truthfully. People who know their worth don't need to shout. They have a presence that speaks for them. And the world notices, because when you position yourself with respect and security, you are treated the same way. Respect attracts respect, and it all starts with a choice to respect yourself first. People who value themselves show it in their gaze, in their tone of voice, in the way they walk. It's not arrogance or coldness, it's presence. It's clarity. It's security. It's knowing who you are, what you want, and how far you're willing to go. When you assume your own value, you naturally attract relationships, opportunities, and experiences that are in tune with this new energy. And, at the same time, you begin to push away everything that previously drained your strength. Because those who value themselves stop accepting crumbs. They stop wearing themselves out, trying to prove that they deserve to be where they are. And that changes everything. Because those who already know they deserve it don't need to convince anyone, they just live fully. This process also involves an essential skill: setting boundaries. But here, we're not talking about walls of coldness, we're talking about fences of respect. Healthy boundaries don't keep people away, they keep abuse away. And every time you say no to something that harms you, you're saying yes to yourself. Sometimes a boundary is as simple as not answering messages after hours. Other times, it's refusing tasks that aren't yours. Or stop justifying choices that are good for you. Each boundary is a silent declaration of self-love. I respect myself. And this simple attitude transforms how people perceive you, and above all, how they treat you. Now that you've understood the basics of change, let's start practicing. 3 simple but transformative steps. First, make an honest self-assessment. What behaviors, demands, or relationships have you tolerated out of fear of standing up for yourself? Identify them, name them, acknowledge. Second, start affirming your value on a daily basis. Tell yourself, firmly, not doubtfully, that you are valuable for who you are, and not for what others decide to see. This will consolidate your identity from the inside out. Third, change your communication. Be more direct, firmer, clearer. Stop justifying yourself. Start declaring. This isn't about being rude. It's about taking a real stand. From the moment you take the lead in your own story, everything starts to align. Your relationships change, your energy level rises, even your productivity gains strength. Because now you're no longer trying to prove anything. You're just being whole, firm, present. And that's the presence that commands respect. From now on, you no longer have to beg for recognition. You inspire. You establish. You transmit. And so you begin to build a new cycle. A cycle of real appreciation, which is born within you and spreads to everything around you. The world responds to your energy. And when your energy says, I know who I am, the world learns to respect you. Finally, I leave you with a question that could change everything. If you don't even believe in your own worth, who will believe in it for you? If the world hasn't recognized you yet, maybe it's because you haven't made that clear. But now you know the way. Value is not begged for. Value is established. And that starts exactly when you decide to put yourself first, not out of vanity, but out of conscience. And if this message made sense, share it with someone who needs reminding of their own value. Because the world outside only begins to change when change begins inside. And remember, there is no growth in the comfort zone, and there is no comfort in the growth zone. The result you're looking for is hidden in the effort you're still avoiding making.